What's up, everybody? It is Casual Thursday here on Buzzerbeater, episode 14, and his last episode. Don't break down, Jake. It's a sad day. What's up, dude? How you doing?
Good.
You ready for this last episode?
I think I can handle it. I think I can do it.
You positive?
Yeah.
Well, can you tell our viewers why we're not in suits today?
Well, like you said, it's Casual Thursday, and so we kind of just got tired of walking around campus looking better than everybody else. So
That's a true statement.
last episode is might as well just show people how humble we are, and so that's why we're going casual today.
Dressing like normal people. President Tanner wasn't very happy when we dressed up. There's a good-looking dude right there on that TV screen. Last week on Buzzerbeater, we talked about how there was a possible game that was going to be played featuring two hosts of an awesome sports talk show entitled Buzzerbeater? Yeah.
Yeah.
How did that game go of intramural basketball? Because your team was in action last week, wasn't it?
Yeah. We lost in the semis, so we didn't make it to the championship. So sad day.
Who'd you lose to?
Tom's team.
Who's on Tom's team?
A couple other kids. They brought in the 6'4" guy on the very last day of the championship, so that was kind of a questionable call, but that helped them win. But you were on the team.
Oh yeah. I was on the team.
You helped a little bit.
How did I do?
You had a couple points.
Your assessment.
I think you did pretty good. You looked
I did
good.
pretty well.
Yeah.
Well,
you were better than I thought you'd be.
You did pretty well too. You actually became the host of Buzzerbeater. That you hit that first buzzer beater in the first half, and then you went LeBron James banking a three from 35 feet. So, congratulations. And you know, it was a hard-fought battle. We came away with the win. I did beat Jake. No shocker there. And we went on to win the championship. But, dude, I was rooting for you in that semifinal game. Just came up a little bit short. Next time, don't let D coach the team. And also,
that was the problem.
Probably not a good idea to have a girl play on your team.
Yeah. They're good.
That's true. Good. She did pretty well. Okay, let's talk about BYU Hawaii athletics maybe for a little bit before we get into the shenanigans of episode 14 of Buzzerbeater. Let's talk about men's and women's tennis. Now, they were in action against Hilo. It was a sweep. No shock there. BYU Hawaii, they are dominant, probably one of those dominant programs, and it's happy time for BYU Hawaii athletics because we've got teams that are performing at a very high level for once. No joking, it's all jokes aside. But women, they're currently ranked number 2 in the nation now. They finished last year, went to the national championship game against Armstrong State. They lost only by a few points. So BYU Hawaii comes back into this year with a vengeance on their mind with their last season. Head coach Dave Porter, the all-time winningest coach in all of college sports. And they actually featured him on the NCAA's magazine because UConn went and won their 100th straight victory. Coach Porter, he did that on 2 separate occasions. So congratulations to the Seasiders as they got off to another good start for this season. Men's golf, ironically, most of my intramural teammates were on the golf team. They just went to California. And California or Texas?
I thought it was Texas. I think last week was California.
Okay, last week California, and then this past week was Texas. Mm-hmm. Do you know how they did?
First week, well, like we talked about last week, the Trimax, they took first, so good start to the season. And then yesterday, or a couple days ago, I know the first round they were tied for 6th or 7th, but I haven't seen how well they've done after that.
Well, I just talked to Dylan Dudley, who's a member of the golf team. He was actually not performing as in the team concept because there's a certain amount of players that play for the team and get points for the team. So Dylan was playing more individually. He did well, but BYU Hawaii, like you said, after the first day of golf, they were in 6th place. At the end of the round and at the end of the tournament, they ended up placing 3rd. It was announced that they would place 2nd, but because of some errors in the scoring, they actually fell down to 3rd. But not a bad finish for BYU Hawaii, 3rd in the tournament. And like you said, in that tri-match, they came in number 1. Softball, you were out at softball on Monday for the doubleheader against Simon Fraser. It was a crazy day. You weren't even allowed to do the broadcast with me for women's basketball because that second game went to extra innings. How'd that softball game go for the ladies?
So they've been playing Simon Fraser the past couple days, and in the game that I was there, spent about 4 or 5 hours out on the field doing PA for the softball games. The second game was really exciting. Actually went into extra innings, and that's why I was unable to do the women's basketball broadcast because I was still out doing PA for the softball game. But fortunately, I believe it was in the 3rd extra inning, so the 9th or 10th or whatever it was, you have a runner start on second base just to make it game go faster, so as quickly. So Simon Fraser's up to bat first. They actually score So they go up 1, and so BYU Hawaii has a chance to win. And with 2 people on base, I cannot remember her name who hit it, but she hit it went right past the second baseman, allowed 2 runs in, and BYU Hawaii got the walk-off victory.
Yeah, impressive victory for BYU Hawaii. That was their first victory of the season.
Yep.
They're currently 1-3 overall, and like we said, there's not a lot of depth on this year's team. So shout out to the Lady Seasiders getting the victory. On to women's basketball. Last night, roller coaster game for the Seasiders. At one point, they found themselves in a 25-point deficit, fought their way back, got the lead down to 6 in the third quarter, and then Academy of Art, they just took off in that fourth quarter and came away with the victory.
Yep.
Interesting move by Coach Stanger, however, in that second quarter. He called a timeout just to substitute all 5 starters out. What do you think was happening to make Coach Stanger make that move at that point of the game?
Sometimes a coach has to make those kind of moves. We saw this with Duke, when Coach K, he pulled out he didn't allow his players to go into the locker room and wear Duke apparel because they weren't performing how they should have. So I think this was kind of a statement made by Coach Stanger. The starters were not performing how they should have, and we saw that. That's why they got down by 25 in the second quarter. And so with that statement, Coach told the starters, you need to play better, you're not going to play. And so the second unit came in. They were able to not stay with technically, but not create a bigger deficit for them to come back. And then the starters in that third quarter were able to come back and make it a 6-point game. And so that move that Coach Stanger made in the second quarter, that actually helped inspire the girls to come back.
Yeah. We'll take another commercial break, but when we come back, we'll finish talking about men's basketball and then move into the NBA All-Star game that will start tomorrow down in New Orleans.
It's what I do. Some things in life you can't control. That's why I leave nothing to chance. Because when the world tries to tie you down, you have to be ready to fly.
That
was very impressive. I tell you what, I didn't think that Giancarlo was actually capable of putting on an athletic jersey, let alone make a basket. So shout out to Giancarlo. Very impressive, my man. All right, let's get on to men's basketball. Jake, this is your last show, so give the men's basketball team all that you have. The floor is yours, my friend.
Okay, so as we all know, the men's basketball team hasn't really been performing as well as people would have hoped. They lost in double overtime to
Fresno Pacific on Monday.
Yep, on Monday, and yesterday they played. Quiz, who did they play yesterday? Come on, Mick, you should know this.
Academy of Art.
Yep, Academy of Art, the art school. So yesterday...
Did we beat the art school?
We beat the art school.
Hey!
We lost to them in San Francisco last month, I think, and so... We finally beat the art school yesterday. It was a very close game, up and down until the very end, but luckily we were able to hit free throws. Dee McCleary and Shad Watson were able to hit free throws down the stretch, and then they missed a shot that went in and out at the buzzer, and so BYU Hawaii was able to get their 6th or 7th victory of the year. They have 2 games left, and you're obviously not going to make the tournament right now, and so these last 2 games is kind of like a pride thing. I know we talked about that. Just to go out with a bang, just to go out with a win. You want to beat rival school Dixie State for the blackout on Saturday. So last 2 games, just give it all, and hopefully they get the win.
Yeah, it's a matter of pride for BYU Hawaii at this point. They want to go out with a bang, and especially they want to ruin some people's seasons.
Yeah.
Point Loma currently is in 6th place in the Pac-West standings, and Dixie State has always been a rival to BYU Hawaii, especially on the men's basketball program. There's no love lost in this rivalry, so they would love nothing more than to take out the Trailblazers on Saturday. That's going to be a big-time game for BYU Hawaii. Your brother D and I, my freshman year, we were on the basketball team together, and I know how much the basketball program has meant to him. Mm-hmm. What has it meant to you, being his younger brother, being able to go to all of his home games and watch him perform?
It's been a really fun watching him play. I haven't seen him play since high school because his freshman year, obviously, you guys redshirted, so you didn't play in actual games. And then I left on my mission, and so I would only get updates of watching him, how he did. And so to be able to watch him again since high school, it's been really fun, and I'm glad that he's actually gotten some playing time and that he's actually done well.
All right, well, this is your show, Jake. We're making this all special about you, so we're going to start getting into memory lane. This was probably one of my favorite experiences in sports broadcasting. This was my all-time favorite interview. If you guys watch this interview, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But your first year at BYU Hawaii Athletics, working in the SID department, what was your all-time favorite memory in fall sports?
Well, first of all, I don't think I could have gotten a better job for my freshman year. This has been one of the funnest jobs on campus. No offense to any of these producers. I'm sure this is a really fun job as well. But I believe that I had one of the best jobs here on campus. And one of the perks of our job is that we go to the sporting events and we get paid to go to those games. And so we were able to do the play-by-play for volleyball. And I remember that volleyball game against Dixie State, how close it was when Dixie State was first in the conference and we were struggling. It went into 5 sets, and we were doing the commentating for that game. And even though we lost, that was one of the funnest times that I've ever had watching sports, let alone BYU Hawaii sports.
Yeah, that is one of my all-time favorite memories as well. The crowd being all electrifying, and you know, there's nothing better than doing play-by-play when the crowd is actually making noise. When there's crickets in the stadium, it gets a little bit awkward. My favorite memory actually happened when you were on your mission in the Philippines. It was last season when Jake McCray set the all-time goal-scoring record here at BYU Hawaii. I can remember the game as if it were yesterday. It was a game in which Jake McCray went into the game knowing that he was 1 goal away from breaking the record, and he had at least 6 or 7 chances to break the record in the first half. He missed all of the goals. He was wide open on all of those opportunities, and you could tell it was starting to get into his head a little bit. But Jake was, last year and also this past season, he was probably one of the best players in the conference. It was a header that was like an impossible play that he actually scored. That's probably going to go down as my all-time favorite memory in fall sports, along with that volleyball game against Dixie State. All right, now we're in winter sports, so obviously you have talked about how much you've enjoyed watching your brother play. We've had a lot of fun times doing women's basketball play-by-play. What's going to go down as your favorite memory of winter sports here at BYU Hawaii?
One thing that I'm grateful for is that I've been able to make some friends here. I live with some of the basketball players, including my brother and Tanner Nelson and Juhan Lee. And so in that game against, I believe it was Azusa Pacific, they wanted that Tanner hit the game winner 3. It was just really fun to see one of my best friends hit a game-winning shot in an exciting game like that. It's always good to have your team win, but when one of your best friends hits the game-winning shot, it just makes it all that much better. So,
I probably have to piggyback on that one. It's probably one of my favorite memories. It was special for me because that game I was doing play-by-play for BYU TV. I remember being a little bit nervous before we went live, but it was an extremely fun game, and it's one of those games that when you're doing play-by-play, you literally feel like you're playing the game with them. And like you said, Tanner Nelson, also a very good friend. To see him succeed and to see him hit a big shot like he did, I was more happy for him than I was for myself being able to do that play-by-play. But also, you know, we've had a lot of good times doing play-by-play for the women's game. I remember doing those play-by-plays mostly by myself last season. That's not that easy. But being able to do it with you, that was super, super fun. And, you know, winter sports, it's basketball. And, we're basketball heads. That's all we really talk about. So that was a lot of fun. All right. Your favorite buzzer beater moment. I think this one probably is pretty good too, your interview with your brother, but we've had 14 episodes. What's been your favorite memory doing this show?
Besides the interview, because I think that was probably my favorite moment, I believe in the 3rd or 4th episode, I nailed the bottle flip.
You did.
Before the show, we were trying it. I could never get it, and then I tried it on live like this, and I nailed it first try. So that was probably one of my biggest accomplishments in my life.
Dude, I was so proud of you because, like you said, that's probably. Well, I keep piggybacking on your favorite memories. I need to come up with a few of my own. I think one of the funniest, probably it could be the best too, was I think it was on the 6th episode. John Carlo was our floor director, and he sprayed me with a water gun. Little did he know I came prepared and nailed him in the face as well. We'll take another commercial break, but when we come back, we'll get into the NBA All-Star Game with the skills and the dunk contest on Saturday, and then the big game under the bright lights on Sunday.
McMillan from half court breaks the defense. McMillan, 3 seconds left, jumps to the free throw line. What is he doing?
Cleary gets the ball at the elbow. The game is on the line for the Seaside. He makes a series of moves. He jabs. He puts it up. Has the buzzer and he blows it.
All right, everybody, get off your Instagram, log out of Netflix, tune in to Buzzerbeater. And that's how you beat the buzzer. So now football season's over, so there's really we gotta be creative about what we're talking about nowadays. We don't have football, don't have college football. We talk about basketball, but they're going into the All-Star weekend, so we may as well get into the festivities. The slam dunk contest is usually the most exciting, and that guy right there, I think he might be the odds-on favorite to win the slam dunk contest. Who do you got taking home the trophy this year?
Well, honestly, I would think I was with you. You showed me the dunk contest from last year because I hadn't even seen it because I was gone. So that was probably the most exciting dunk contest ever. And I'm going to have to go with Aaron Gordon. Unfortunately, Zach LaVine, he tore his ACL.
Yeah.
And I believe he said he wasn't going to be in it anyway. So I'm going to go with Aaron Gordon. And it's going to be hard to top last year's dunk contest, but I'm going to go with Aaron Gordon.
I don't think anyone can beat him, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, this dunk was amazing, but I was on Bleacher Report this morning, and a reporter apparently saw some of the dunks that he has planned for the dunk contest, and he said, you may as well just already give him the trophy. DeAndre Jordan is in the dunk contest, but I don't know how I feel about big men being in the dunk contest. They literally have to jump 2 feet up and dunk it. The three-point contest, and like you said, the past few years, the dunk contest hasn't been very good until last year. But the three-point contest has been very exciting. You had Steph Curry take it home 2 years ago. Klay Thompson won last year. Who do you think is going to win this year?
I think it's just going to be Klay Thompson again. He's just going to take it. He knows he wants to match Steph. He wants to beat Steph Curry. He wants to be like the bragging rights on his team, go home with that three-point trophy. So,
the best shooter out of the Splash Brothers.
Exactly. So I'm going with Klay Thompson.
I think I'll go with Kyle Lowry. I know he's more of a spotty shooter, but I think in that kind of setting, a three-point contest, I'll go with Kyle Lowry. But like you said, Klay Thompson, I think he may have the most purest shot in all of basketball. President Obama actually said that Klay Thompson's shot is actually prettier than Steph Curry's. I'm going to have to agree because he literally has the perfect form, and he might take home the three-point contest. Another competition that's always been exciting, and it's gotten more entertaining because, as you see DeMarcus Cousins on the TV screen, they allow big men now to do it against guards. And last year, Karl Anthony Towns beat all the guards, and the big men beat the guards. Do you think the big men win this year? And if so, who do you think wins the skills challenge?
Honestly, I'm not sure. Because skills challenge, it doesn't seem like a big man should win it. Because, they're not usually working on those kind of skills. But I don't know. I'd like to see a big man win it. I'm not a huge fan of Boogie, but to see a big man win a skills challenge like that is just kind of humbling for the other guards. So I'm all in it for the big man.
Yeah, I'd love to see the big men win. I remember last year when Karl Anthony Towns won, the big men were going crazy, and you kind of looked at the guards, and you're just like, really, dudes? You guys should be the ones dominating. I'm going to have to go with John Wall, though, hometown player. Right. Really good, close with John Wall. I'm going to have to go with him winning the skills challenge. And then the All-Star game will be on Sunday. I would like to see the game be competitive for once. There's usually it's fine, having the cool dunks and stuff, but I'd like to see you have that much talent on the floor at one time. I would like to see it be a competitive game. If they do play a competitive game, who do you think wins, the Eastern Conference or the Western Conference?
I'm going to have to go with the Western Conference. You have too many players. Basically, the whole Golden State team.
Their whole starting five, basically.
Yeah, exactly. So But how are you gonna be without Kobe? Watching this without Kobe, it'll be the first one in a while.
Yeah, that's gonna be really weird.
I know you're a Kobe fan.
Yeah, last year seeing him get announced for the last time was a super strange
Yeah.
feeling, and it's gonna be weird because he was in like the last 18 or 17
something like
All-Star
that,
games, so he's not gonna be in it.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be an extremely weird, especially for the Western Conference. Can you imagine Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook in the same locker room? I mean, that in and of itself is going to be a very interesting storyline. But Carmelo Anthony was actually announced yesterday to replace Kevin Love. I don't know how I really feel about that. I think Bradley Beal deserved to be in it over Carmelo Anthony. Who do you have to be the All-Star MVP? Russell Westbrook has won it the last 2 years, but you got a lot of talent out there, and you got a lot of egos, a lot of people wanting to take home that trophy for bragging rights.
Yeah. Probably right now, James Harden.
Okay.
I'm going to have to go James Harden just because this is his breakout year, I guess. He's always been good, but this season's been ridiculous how good his team is doing and how good he's doing individually. So I can see him going off in the All-Star game and taking home the MVP trophy.
In an All-Star game setting, it's kind of like who can dunk the most or
Yeah.
who can hit the most three-pointers.
Yeah.
Russell Westbrook can do both.
Yeah, I can see that too.
This year, however, I think it'll be the year of the chef, Steph Curry. I think he will come away with the NBA MVP because the dude can hit 12 three-pointers in his sleep. So I think Steph Curry catches fire from behind the arc and will be the All-Star MVP. Jake, this is your last show, so reluctantly, you have a minute to talk about your Utah Jazz. And
My bad, I forgot something. Okay, I was gonna wear this. I might wear it next segment, but this is one of my treasured jerseys. It belonged to my father, and I'll pass it down to generations to come.
why didn't D get it?
I don't know. I think we forgot about it, honestly. I found it before I came out here. But the Jazz, they have one person in the All-Star break, Gordon Hayward. It should have been two with Rudy Gobert.
I agree with you on that one.
Yeah, so Gordon Hayward is going to represent the Jazz. Jazz, currently, they've lost 2 of the past 3 games, so they didn't go into All-Star break how they wanted. They destroyed the Trailblazers yesterday, so that was a good sign, winning in the Western Conference. Right now, they're sitting at 5th, I believe, in the Western Conference, and they haven't been to playoffs in a couple years, but they're going to make some noise. You can count. Put your money on the Jazz, man, please, because no one is.
Are you done?
Yeah, I'm done.
Yeah, glad to have talked about your Jazz.
Yeah.
You want to make a bold prediction about Utah this year? You're going to win the championship, take the West?
Yeah.
Okay, because that's my
I'm
last.
not going to be here when that happens.
I want to get this on the record before you go back to Utah. NBA champs this year. Will you go with the Utah Jazz?
Yeah. Loyalty.
Okay, if the Utah Jazz win, I will come to Utah and I will take you to whatever restaurant you want. Deal?
Okay, sounds good.
It's on record, Buzzerbeater.
Yeah.
We're going to take another commercial break, but when we come back, I asked him 10 questions. He asked me 10 questions. Seasider Spotlight with your 2 hosts of Buzzerbeater.
That was an outstanding win for the Seasiders for a couple of reasons. One is they played well in the second half. They got the win. They're in the tournament.
BYU Hawaii, number 1 seed all the way, wins the regional title of the NCAA West.
Great win for us. It was a nice win. We held our composure and, at least we closed out. It's tough to close out in a championship, but we did it.
It's still surreal to me.
It's hard to imagine that Coach Wagner, when he called that timeout with 13 seconds left on the shot clock, was setting up a play for a 40-foot jump shot with 1 second left on the clock. But Pablo hit it.
Right laughed at us, saying so long for beautiful Laia, Hawaii.
All right, guys, welcome back to your last ever segment of Buzzerbeater with me and with this guy. Now, a year and a half ago, I created a video. It's called the Seasider Spotlight. I took an athlete and I asked them the most awkward, the most uncomfortable questions and put them on blast. These are 2 memories this past year when Jake came along. He got his brother This is Mackenzie Moore of our women's soccer team. And it's basically just 10 random questions to get to know your athletes and get them out of their shells, as most athletes usually have this serious face and always serious all the time. Time to get to the weight room and play basketball or play soccer. This interview basically is to get them out of their shell. What we're going to do now, before I let Jake go study for his finals and get your boy and go to Utah and get married or something, we're going to have the Seasider Spotlight with your two hosts. So this is how it's going to work. Jake has not seen my questions, and I have not seen Jake's questions. I will ask a question, he will answer, and then he will respond to me. Would you like to go first, or should I go first?
You can go first.
Okay, Jake McCleary. Is it true that you are the least loved out of all the McCleary boys?
Well, there's only two of us. So I think it depends on the day. It depends on how D does in his games. If he does good, then probably yeah. But if not, then I'm the favorite.
Okay, fair enough.
All right. First one's just getting to know you a little bit, Mick. Just in one sentence, what were you like in high school?
One sentence?
One sentence.
I was a straight up G.
So what does G mean?
Goofball.
Oh, okay. That
All right.
sense.
How many unsuccessful dates have you been on?
I don't think any. I think
None?
all my
They've
dates
all been
have
success?
all four of them. All of them have been really successful, man.
No ring, so.
We're still working on it.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, none have gone too bad. So.
Okay.
If you could be a crayon, what color would you be?
Like, what color would I be?
What color? Crayon, not like referring to anything.
Crayon. Neon green.
Is that a crayon?
Is it? I feel like you could get a crayon like
Okay.
neon green color.
All right, sounds good.
Is that fair?
Yeah, it's good.
Okay, cool. Okay, very important question. How does it make you feel to know that you will never be able to dress as nice as me or to beat me in a game of basketball?
Honestly, it doesn't really feel that bad because, it wasn't that good of accomplishment.
Oh.
Anyway, so.
Wow.
So.
Just take a shot at my ego. There we go. You can ask your question now.
Hey, pull out your phone. Next question. You're going to pull out your phone and pull up an empty text and press paste and see what comes up.
Wait, I'm going to go where?
Just go to open an empty text message.
Okay, like
And
this?
now press paste.
Paste.
No, you got to press paste. Like copy and paste.
I have no idea what you're talking about. I go here.
And now press paste. Have
Okay.
you copied anything lately?
No. Press paste.
Oh, you got a phone number. Whose phone number is that came up there?
Is this kind of some kind of sick joke?
Call that number.
Okay.
Call it.
How do I do this? I am not much of a techie.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, there we go.
Call it.
How do I do this?
Just call the number. Press call.
Okay. Look, there's no
Okay,
call.
you know what? I have no idea whose number that is. I don't know. That just came up.
Well,
Next question.
That was a great question. Way to just make me feel completely awkward. Here we go. How did it make you feel when your brother D got a girlfriend and abandoned you upon returning home from your 2-year mission? Don't cry now.
It felt good. I'm really happy for him.
Anything else to comment?
No.
Okay, we're moving on.
Okay, next question. Do you think Zac Efron is nice in person?
He seems like one of those guys that's just like... My mom's watching, so I have to be careful. No, I do not. No.
Okay, so
no,
yes or
I
no
do
question.
not.
Good. We got to hurry this up.
Okay, several months ago when we were kayaking back from Mokes, our kayak sunk. Was that my fault or your fault?
Your fault.
You may ask your question now.
What's your favorite Taylor Swift song?
You Belong With Me.
Okay, your turn.
Tanner Nelson said that D could beat you in a game of one-on-one. Is this a true statement?
If it's on like Tanner said, if it's on a little Nerf hoop, then yeah, I can. Well, I can beat him, but if it's on
Okay.
a regular hoop, he could probably beat me. I'm
Okay.
still working on my game.
Fair enough.
Choose 2 celebrities to be your parents.
Beyonce and Jay-Z.
I'm sorry.
Harry Potter or Star Wars?
Star Wars. You know me, man. You know me.
That's how we do that.
If you were a pizza delivery man, how would you benefit from scissors?
That's a really good question. How would I benefit for scissors? Yeah, I guess I would like cut the person's hair who didn't give me a good tip.
Okay.
Like if they had like long, luscious locks like Valentino, I
Just
feel like I
slip
would
it-
just
snip
slip
it.
them off.
All right,
You know what I
good.
mean? Okay, will you describe your perfect date?
Skydiving into a kayak.
Okay.
Actually, no. We have bad experience with kayaks.
Yeah, that wasn't a good date.
Skydiving right into a fancy dinner over in Honolulu.
Okay.
And then after we'll watch a movie and cuddle maybe if I'm lucky. We'll cuddle.
You're such a weirdo. Okay, next.
Why do you think we should hire you?
Because I'm just a straight up G with amazing personality. I have a great suit game, and I just make this workplace fun.
Good.
How was your Valentine's Day?
It was good. It was good.
Solid?
Yeah, good.
Okay. Happy Valentine?
Yeah.
Who was it?
My mom.
Oh. Thanks, Roy Lynn. He needs all the love he can get.
Okay. What one are we on?
We got like a few seconds. Can we
last
this up?
one. Describe yourself in 2 words.
Mick Miller.
That's not a description. Okay.
Is there anyone that you would like to thank for making your first year of college memorable? Maybe a coworker, a friend, a mentor, a co-host?
Yeah.
Anyone?
I'll thank Jolie. Jolie, one of the best producers here. She's just made this show great. We've seen her on air a couple times as well, so I'd just like to give a shout out to Jolie and all the other producers here for making this a great run and a great 14 episodes.
All right, Cider Nation, thanks so much for tuning in to Buzzer. Jake, thanks so much for being a co-host. For the last time, Jake McCleary, Mick Miller, go Utah Jazz.
Woo! End it. Why are we still going?